What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. And I just got done watching the latest Demon Slayer movie, the Infinity Castle one. Y'all know what it is. You can already see I got the popcorn tin. I also got a cup. And I will tell y'all, it's expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It's cool looking, very cool looking. I don't regret buying it. That's the cup, especially the straw is the sword handle. I think that design is super dope. Let's look at the tin. The tin got the characters, then it got the castle, then the other characters on the other side, and then the castle again. It's a nice little steel tin. I done messed up the product placement. I done messed up the product placement for the shot. So like I said, it's a very cool design, limited quantities, but it's expensive. Y'all are gonna be disgusted when I tell you how much it cost me. I got the tin, the popcorn tin, and I got the cup. Just those two things. Guess how much it cost? Put your predicts in the comments. I'll wait. All of you were wrong, unless you went and brought it yourself. It cost me $60 for just those two things. So it's gonna run you about $26.99 a piece for both. And Lord forbid, if you want to get all four cups, because there's four different cups. They got the Tanjiro that I got, the Zenitsu, Giyu, Shinobu. If you get all the cups, you're looking at about 130 with the 10. It's if you got the money to blow, it's worth it. But if you balling on a budget, don't waste your time. Don't get it. It's so expensive. Me, I saved up a little cheddar, so I had to get mines. But this review is going to contain spoilers. I probably should have said that off jump, but before I start talking about the movie, this and I'm gonna put it in the title, I guess. Spoilers ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the whole movie, things that I thought, how I liked it. I'll rate it towards the end. But just a heads up, if you haven't seen the movie, you should stop watching this. Come back after you've watched the movie. Okay, so now that we've got that out the way, everybody that's here, we've seen the movie. Let's talk about it. This movie was long, but the pacing was fantastic. Now, for me, the showing it started at 5:10, which means 30 minutes of preview. So it really the movie started at 5:40. When we got out, I looked at my phone. It was 8:15. So the movie's about 2.5 ish hours long. But again, the pacing is so good. We got so much out of this movie because I've read the manga to completion. So everything they did in this movie, they got dropped into the castle. Boom. We have Shinobu fighting a Doma, and the Shinobu part, like she gets fully absorbed, boom, and we know what's gonna happen next. Well, if you read the manga, you know what's gonna happen next. If you don't, but that fight ends there. Shinobu gets absorbed, and then her protege, I think her name was Nanao, she comes in, sees Shinobu get absorbed. Shinobu gives her the hand sign, so she starts wrecking with Doma, but we don't get to see that. Then it transitions to the next fight. We got Zenitsu fighting. I always forget his name. It starts with a K. Dang, I forgot his name. Zenitsu is fighting the other Thunderclap dude. I don't want to call him a Thunder Hashira, but I'll call him Lightning Breath User. He's fighting the other Lightning Breath User, and we get to see Zenitsu for the first time stay awake and use his breathing in a fight, because usually he has to go to sleep. This time he's deadly focused, he's awake, and there's a certain air around him. And he pops out his new patented move. He created a new move in the lightning breathing move set. And that's what he used to secure the dub. Now he was fighting Upper Moon 6, but it's not a real Upper Moon. This was like a hastily made Upper Moon, and they even reference later in the movie that if Zenitsu had waited a year to have that confrontation, he wouldn't have stood a single chance. They let Zenitsu know that he only won that because his opponent didn't know how to really use his blood arts yet. This was a newly turned demon, newly welcomed into the Upper Moons, and he was taking the place of Gyotaro. And it's not like he even earned that spot. He just got there because he was a breath user previously turned demon, which is rare to happen. So Zenitsu, and regardless of what you think, Zenitsu got the dub against an Upper Moon. That's more than most Hashiras can say. That's more than any of the previous generations of Hashiras could say. So Zenitsu got some weight behind him now. And after that fight happens, and each fight has backstory. So Shinobu, we're getting backstory about her sister. Zenitsu, we're getting backstory about them growing up. What happened to Gramps after Gramps learned that homie turned into a demon. And then we move to the Akaza fight. Akaza is fighting Giyu and Tanjiro. We get good backstory on Akaza. Low key, I feel for Akaza. His backstory, you realize why he turned certified crash out. Now, him turning demon wasn't his choice. Like, he tried to fight Muzan, and Muzan put his hand through his skull and said, like, yo, I like your guts. You're gonna turn into a demon. He don't have a choice. A hand is penetrating his skull. Muzan said, take this blood, dog. But Akaza really, his life, he got the shit into the stick. Every step of his life, every chance when he's about to grasp happiness, somebody just shits on him, and it wears you down. And he had a legendary crash out, took out like 62, 67 people. Like, he got it. He spun the block for his. So we get to learn more about Akaza, and the fight between Akaza, Giyu, and Tanjiro. I don't know about y'all, but when I saw it, it made me gain a new level. I always had respect for a Tengen, but the internet stayed trying to disrespect Tengen, talking about he's the weakest Hashira, and if he's not the weakest, then it's Shinobu and then Tengen. But I want y'all to realize during this fight, when Giyu got the mark, they made it clear that with the mark, he gained more strength, more speed. That allowed him to keep pace with Akaza more. Tanjiro also was using his mark as well. Now, Tengen beat Upper Moon 6 with no mark. He did have help from Tanjiro and Inosuke and them, but Giyu had help from a much stronger Tanjiro, and they both barely squeaked out a victory, collapsed at the end. So I just want y'all to put a little more respect on Tengen's name. He had one arm and did that. One arm, no mark, Upper Moon 6. Now I know what y'all are going to say. Well, these two are fighting Upper Moon 3. That's true. Akaza, he probably is stronger than Gyotaro, but Gyotaro has poison, which makes him, in my opinion, a little more deadly. But we could that's an argument that I don't want to have. You know, you could go on TikTok and find people debating that. But I'm just saying, put some respect on Tengen. And what I did like was they went into Tanjiro's backstory with his dad a little more, and his dad was using the Hinokami whatever. I can't remember the name of it. The dance though, and they talk a little bit more about that. He references that you do it from sunset to sunrise, from dusk to dawn, and immediately in my mind I'm going, oh, this technique was literally made. I don't know if y'all picked it up on this. This technique was made to fight the demons because the demons can only come out when the sun sets. And when the sun rises again, they go away. So this technique was made so that you could fight relentlessly throughout the night until the sun rises again. I don't know if y'all picked that up, but when he said that, I was like, these are demon hunting hours. This technique was made so that you can conserve your endurance and continue a fight for hours on end. And what I also picked up on was during the backstory with the master, he said, if this doesn't take out Muzan, you guys are gonna have to fight him. Beheading him likely won't work, and if it doesn't, you have to fight him and keep him trapped until the sun rises. So it's gonna be Tanjiro's job. He's gonna have to use that technique for hours on end, from sunset to sunrise. See, I'm picking up things and I'm placing the links. It also doesn't hurt that I've already read the manga, so I kind of know everything. But at this point, I'm pretending like I don't know, so I'm just making casual connections that I normally would. And then when we talk about the transparent world, we saw Tanjiro dip into the transparent world where he could then see Akaza's movements more clearly. His body was reacting more naturally. Low key, he's in Ultra Instinct. If we were to equate this to DBZ, he just entered the Ultra Instinct mode. Now, I don't remember who it was, but on TikTok, somebody said the author had to take out Tengen. He had to remove Tengen from the battle. And he made a point that Tengen's sound style does exactly what Tanjiro's translucent world did in the movie. And I thought about that and I was like, wow, that's true. So imagine Tanjiro and Tengen teaming up. Tanjiro in the transparent world, Tengen doing his whole musical score. Who's stopping him? They taking out the demons, low key. So he was like, the author had to find a way to remove Tengen from the fight, or else it would be Tengen with a mark and doing that. Oh my lord, that's GG's for all the demons, in my humble opinion. But we're talking about stuff that's not in the movie. So they beat it. They beat Akaza, and low key beat is in quotations to me because Akaza lost the same way Sasori did in Naruto Shippuden. It's not like Sakura and the old lady beat Sasori. He allowed them to win. He chose not to dodge the final move and just be put to rest. Akaza was recovering. His head was recovering. He had evolved during that fight to the point where now beheading no longer works on him either. He's reaching Muzan levels where the only thing that can stop him is the sunlight. But Once Akaza starts regaining his memories from when he was a human, and he realizes I'm done. I'm done. So he literally, instead of choosing to fight Giyu and Tanjiro, who are worn out and exhausted, Tanjiro can't even carry a sword anymore. He walks into the sunlight and allows himself to be evaporated. So like Giyu and Tanjiro won, but it's more like Akaza gave up. Akaza allowed them to continue. Oh, this movie was good. For as long as you don't even Loki, your bladder is gonna tell you how long the movie is, because during the last like 30 minutes, I was like, oh boy, I gotta pee. I hope this ends soon. Your bladder will tell you how long the movie is, but it doesn't feel as long as it actually is. Because again, the pacing, great pacing all throughout. It's like action, action, backstory, back to the action, slide to a new character, action, action, backstory, slide to a new character, action, action, slide back to that backstory, continue the action, finish the fight, finish the fight, finish the fight. I like that the fights that we saw get started, with the exception of Doma. Doma versus Shinobu did finish, but Doma's not done fighting because Nanao's there. But we saw the conclusion of the Akaza fight. We saw the conclusion of the Zenitsu fight. So that means in the next movie, we're gonna get new fights. We're gonna start new fights. I like that they didn't leave us really on like cliffhanger fights. They allowed each person to have their conclusion. I'm also real proud of the Demon Corps. The Demon Corps is doing their job. They know they're not Hashira level, and they know they can't really depend on the Hashira to do everything. In here, it's too many demons. So the regular Demon Corps members told the Hashiras, yo, we got the regular schmegulars. Y'all go get them upper moons. Y'all go get moves. We can't help y'all with that. We're not equipped for that. But these regular demons, we got them. You conserve your energy. That's teamwork to me. That's S tier teamwork. All that Hashira training they put the regular core through, we see it paying off because they're fighting demons. And low key, the dude who was in like Tanjiro's class, I forgot his name. We see him. He's protecting Zenitsu, and he does a water wheel. He goes water breathing, water wheel, form 3, I think it was. But what's cool is you don't see water around his sword. So in my mind, I was just like, oh wow, this is what actually does happen. Because remember, the creator said that the elemental effects are just for viewership. It's not actually there. So when Homie did a water wheel with no water effects, I was like, it does look a little weak, but this is what's actually happening. So I was like, okay, they need them graphical effects because it adds a little pizzazz, a little jazz, a little sparkle, a little shimmer, a little shine to the show. But overall, movie was great. I would, if I was to rate this, and y'all know me, I hate 1 out of 10s. I do 1 out of 5s because I feel like with 1 out of 10, if you give something an 8, that's such a generic, safe answer. But if you go 1 out of 5, 3, you feel like, oh, that's just an average movie. 4, you're like, oh, that's a pretty good movie. Like the 1 out of 5 scale holds a lot more weight in whatever ranking you give it, in my opinion. So, Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, long but worth every minute of viewing. Collectibles, they got them. They got them. Expensive, but they got. I'm not including the collectibles in the review. I just again wanted to kind of show off that I got the collectible cup and the 10. But I love collecting 10s. I have one, two, three, four. This is my 5th one. I have a 6th one back there. I collect. If a movie has a collectible 10 that I'm seeing, I collect it. It's just something that I do. You see all the pops I got? I just be collecting stuff. But anyways, back to the review. Great pacing, great action. I watched it in dub, not sub, because I caught Adobe showing, and I couldn't remember if I watched the Mugen Train in dub or sub, and I thought I watched it in dub. So I watched this one in dub, and I'm beyond dub is cool. The dub in this one is cool. The sub is great too, but I'm just the dub is not a bad rendition. The dub is actually a really good rendition to me. I would give this honestly. There's not too much wrong with it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Great action, great pacing. The only reason I dropped point 0.5 is because it's not a one and done movie. It is a continuation, and at the end, it leaves you with the two Hashira running to their next opponent. So because it's not a one and done, because it's a movie where you're gonna have to wait a couple years to get to that solid conclusion of everything is wrapped up, I dropped point 0.5 out of it. But honestly, you can't ask for more than what this movie did. Great OST, great dubbing, great action, visuals on point. The plot is moving. The plot's doing its plot. Like, yeah, 4.5 out of 5. This was an excellent movie. I think Demon Slayer, when it comes to anime movies, Demon Slayer really sets the mark. We see a lot of other franchises trying to make movies now because of the success of Mugen Train. But in my opinion, the rest of the anime movies, when you compare it to the Demon Slayer movies, they fall a little short. It feels like they aren't capturing the je ne sais quoi that what Demon Slayer is doing. The production Demon Slayer is giving its fans is on a next level compared to, like, if you watch the Don Don movie, or if you watch the Haikyuu movie, or if you go watch the JJK movie. Those, they call them movies, but it's just really like the episodes packaged into a movie. But this felt like a real movie production. Like, if they turn this into episodes for the anime, you can tell the quality for that is definitely gonna drop because this was made to be a movie. And that's why I think Demon Slayer, what they're doing is they're excelling so high, such a high level. And also Chainsaw Man is getting a movie. But the Chainsaw Man movie is, they already said it's going to be just a recap of season one and a couple episodes of season two. So it's similar to what Don Don did. So I'm not too hyped for that yet, but I'll probably see it because I haven't watched Chainsaw Man yet. It's been on my list, but I've just never had the itch to watch it yet. So maybe I'll check that out and see how that goes. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Make sure y'all go watch it. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, yo, it did its big one. Demon Slayer, you did it again. I didn't think you could top Mugen Train, but to me, this was better than Mugen Train because it had a lot of action. The ending didn't hit like with Rengoku, like it don't hit you emotionally like Rengoku. There is the whole thing when Shinobu gets absorbed, you feel a little sad, but it's like Shinobu kind of knew it was coming because she has that memory of her sister where her sister's telling her like, I don't think you can beat this dude. She stops the sister stops herself from saying it, but Shinobu knows what she wanted to say. So Shinobu went into that fight kind of knowing she was gonna lose, which is crazy. But as a Hashira, you just got to take that lump. You got to take that L because you're a Hashira. The people can't see you running from an opponent. Because if a Hashira is running from an opponent, what hope does anybody else have? So that one didn't hit as hard as the Rengoku death did, but they did everything right. 4.5 out of 5. What did y'all think of the movie? Comment down below. Uncrowned Kingdom, I'm in those comments with y'all. Let me know what you thought. Uncrowned Kingdom, I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safe. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace, bros. Peace, 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 peace. Did y'all see my yellow and black Hiyori? Or Hiyori? I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's got wolves on the back. I'm just saying, it's like tough.